recap of horror movies in general.
Call me Siskel or Ebert. Which one is alive?
I think they're both dead.
Oh, which one had a half a mouth?
Oh, Jesus. I believe you're talking about Roger Ebert, who had some type of jaw cancer. Yeah. That we're going to stick with that one?
I don't feel good about it.
Why are we doing this? We don't know. We can say that, right?
Just keep making up stuff.
We're rambling about maritime disasters and questioning where the Titanic came from and if most people were German or French or Irish.
Searchers all say that have made Whitefish Bay if they've put 15 more miles behind her. Oh, yeah, real good in hindsight.
Yeah.
Oh, they would have made it if there wasn't a big wave that hit them.
Boy, if there wasn't a storm, they'd have been in a different area and they wouldn't have died. Thanks, investigators.
Well, if they hadn't gotten on the boat, then they wouldn't have gotten crushed by a wave.
And the daughters.
That might have been one of my favorite sing-alongs we've had here on the podcast so far.
Yeah, you want to bring it back around? I mean, it's been a whole week, Steve.
I don't know. I mean,
the rave reviews were flowing in almost immediately after that episode dropped on Tuesday, saying how we changed the song and music forever.
Yeah,
I believe were some of the words. Now, I didn't do any investigation if that was for the better or worse. I'm going to take the approach that all reviews are positive.
Mm-hmm. No. Really? Do we have to?
Hang on. Oh, I'm hitting the computer. I can't believe it.
Jeez, it's
just not working.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, look, and now the lyrics are up on the screen.
Come on.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down to the big lake they call Gitchigumi. Man, we got it now. The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy. The load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. All right, I don't think I know. I can't do this for another 6.5 minutes.
That's the heavy hitter though, right there.
We'll save that for our live show in Van Wert.
Next, we need.
That's how we turn the Van Wertians?
Van Werters? Van Werts.
Van Werts.
Thank you, Van Werts. Have a good night.
That's how we get them over to our side.
The bartender claps because we're leaving. Now, I know we've talked pretty exclusively when we visit Van Wert, spring 2019, Steve. Which is
happening. The billboard is happening.
Yep, we've been in discussions.
I feel the need to mention that every episode, especially after the last week when that awful what a year ago was a great GoFundMe story and now is an awful GoFundMe story.
Oh yeah.
I feel the need to mention it on a regular basis that it is happening. The billboard is happening. We are in discussions with Joe, right? It is Joe?
Yeah, senior account executive Joe,
the billboard man.
Yeah, and if you have apprehensions that we're lying to you, well, one, we're not, but two, if you're very, very uncomfortable, let us know. I will figure out a way to get you your money back.
Do we have
Yes, I made sure of that.
Figured out a way.
I got the money. I moved it to a separate account, so it's not mixed in with any of my other whatever liquid cash.
It's an interest earning account though, right? So we can make money off of the money that people have donated to us.
82 cents so far.
Oh boy! What? Buy yourself a pack of Mike and Ikes.
We're upgrading to 2 billboards. So,
but that is happening. I will continue to mention that on a regular basis. That is happening. As soon as we know all of the details, I think basically we just want to get all the details first, so then we can present them all at once. So it's not just trickling.
Yeah. No, I know
we'll be able to know everything all at the same time.
Yep. Give everybody give all of the details instead of just saying, well, it sounds like it's a go. And then a week later, either it falls apart or we have one more detail for you. That's not the way we want to do it.
Yeah.
But that is happening. But we've talked pretty exclusively when we visit the Van Werts in Van Wert.
Yeah.
That we're doing a live show / meet and greet at Fricker's Chicken.
Fricker's Chicken, yeah. That unconfirmed at this point.
I hear the Frickers are on board.
While the billboard 100% confirmed. The live show at Frickers, not so much. TBD, as they say in the biz.
I feel like the Fricker family is on board. We just got to negotiate our rider. I feel like I need 3 chicken tenders, and I'm there.
I don't think that's like unreasonable. We're gonna be bringing the fans.
Do we need to negotiate for sauce?
like I really want mild, but Kyle's more of a ranch guy.
Yeah.
So can we get them both, or do we have to like arm wrestle to figure out who's gonna get what they want?
Are you guys willing to comp 2 sauces, or do we have to settle and haggle on 1? So, but now I feel like we need to ensure, and maybe I believe it was Patrick who works down in Van Wert.
Oh, that's right.
With the Van Werts.
Yeah.
If you can go there and confirm that they have karaoke there. So Steve,
right,
myself, maybe the whole listening family that shows up.
Do you think now... Okay, I'm sorry.
We can jump up on stage and get down to some Gordon Lightfoot, the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
I mean, if you can't rock out to GL on karaoke night, I think anyone's ever called him GL?
The Light Man?
Or GLF?
Oh, you're thinking like split the last name into 2, huh?
Yeah.
I think GL works better, but it doesn't really roll off the tongue.
No.
Maybe maybe the big L.
It's not like one of those cool nicknames like AJ or TJ.
Maybe Gordo. Would you be mad if your name Gordo, someone called, hey Gordo?
Gordo Light Shoe? What?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's...
No, that would offend him. That's the one.
I'm sure that's what all of his friends call him.
So that's what we do. We pay for a meet and greet the next time he's in town, and I videotape you in front of me going up and saying, hey, what's up, Gordo Light Shoe?
I'll have Philip design a T-shirt with a boat with a bunch of iron ore on it.
Cigarette boat style.
Right, of course.
Going 60.
Because it's doing 60 across
60
Superior.
knots?
Yeah, sure.
Because as we discovered last week, Steve, you and I had trouble negotiating the math behind 15 miles behind where they needed to be.
Trouble, no. I mean, initially, yes, but we worked through it. We storyboarded our way through it, and we figured it out.
And we did decide.
We're good.
That the Edmund Fitzgerald was a cigarette boat.
Yeah, it was a long cigarette boat.
Yes.
A wide cigarette boat.
Enough to fit 20. We talked about those sheets of iron ore were flying off the back.
Is it sheets? I don't know. What is iron?
It's got to be just
I thought
bins of rock, right?
Yeah, I assume.
Nope.
Like I pictured.
I'm going to stop this right now. This happened. This has happened too many times. Now, last week we were trying to decipher where the Titanic came from. And now this week, I'm not even going to allow us to go down the path, Steve, where one of us can embarrass ourselves with trying to figure out what form iron ore comes in.
Boy, you're just no fun then. You are just blocking all entertainment.
You know what? That's right. You know what? As a seasoned radio pro, Steve, I'm sorry. Yes, and? You were saying, and?
Tell me more about these sheets of iron ore.
So that is part of the requirement for either Fricker's Chicken or whatever hot local tavern down in Van Wert we visit. They need to have karaoke so we can have a duo, a duet, or a group version of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald when we're
now,
down
do
there.
you think that in Ohio... first of all, we never did discuss... Oh, no. I think the poll just went up last week about the Edmund Fitzgerald. You ever...
Yeah, that should be... That went up, so that should be... We should have some results on that.
The results were surprising. Really surprised me.
Yeah.
It turns out a lot more people knew the tale of the Edmund Fitzgerald than I would have thought. But I did notice a lot of people commented, yes, I knew about it, but it was only because of the side gig. And they had still voted yes anyway. But do you think that in Ohio... it's as big of a deal? Like, do you think that you're gonna get people like standing up and saluting like you are here in Michigan?
I feel like you're not, because they're probably just mad they never got that iron ore. that was headed their way.
It's true. It was going to them, wasn't it?
It was going to Cleveland, so they've been cold.
Yeah, because it left from some mill in Wisconsin.
Yeah, do you use iron ore to heat things? Is this just energy?
Yes, you do. Absolutely, you do.
There's my partner.
Yeah, you also use it to build car parts.
Yeah, so there's some poor Ohioans who to this day are 43 years later still waiting for their car and still waiting for the heat in their home.
Sitting at the dock with their pails in hand, just waiting for a couple scoops of iron ore.
Or sheets.
We
don't know.
Yeah. By the way, it is Sunday, November 18th, 2018, the year of our Lord. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast. My 1 year anniversary spectacular episode.
Happy anniversary, Steve. A year ago today, I was getting ready to become belligerently drunk at the very nice venue you guys chose for your wedding reception.
You and me both.
My goodness. Haven't been that drunk since. Haven't even been close since.
I don't think I have either. That was a heck of a night.
That was a fun time. We've told plenty of tales about that.
Yeah, I noticed a few people remembered, wished me a happy anniversary on Twitter, so I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We went out last night, celebrated a bit. Actually, we went out yesterday morning. We got couples massages.
Hey.
That was fantastic. Man, that is something that I need to do.
So you're in the same room.
Yeah, same room.
So do you go? So by the way, to tie up that loose end, Billboard's still happening. Edmund Fitzgerald still sank. Clevelanders still waiting for car parts and heat. So just to really tie that up, make sure everybody understands we're moving on.
But we digress.
So Steve, you're on tables next to each other. Now, how do you fashion this? Now, you're a massage. I'm not a massage guy. I've told that I don't. I'm a little bit ticklish.
Just not a fan. Yeah,
it's not my thing.
Completely normal. I love it. Absolutely love it. But yeah, there are plenty of people just don't touch me. I don't want anything to do.
Yeah. But one more time I digress. Yeah, it was like 88% said yes. They do recognize the song. Are you familiar? Sorry. And I made it a little more vague. I said, are you familiar with the Edmund Fitzgerald or the song Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald outside of the podcast? 87% said yes on Facebook, 89% on Twitter, Steve. So that makes me feel a little bit better because it was a pretty big disaster back then. Now, obviously, 40-some years removed from it.
I'm not doubting the size, the size of the disaster at all.
But it is regional.
I assumed that it was just one of those things like if you're from here, everybody knows about it, but you go a couple hours either direction and everyone's like, oh yeah, I think I might have heard of that once.
Was that a big, you think, who was it at that point? The big time news anchor in 1970, whatever.
Dan Rather, maybe?
Was it Rather? Who was before Rather that covered Vietnam? I don't know. Do you think that was top?
This seems like one of those roads we're going to go down.
Does it? But do you think that was, top story tonight? This meant, the Edmund Fitzgerald goes down.
I think so.
It has to have been, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we're minimizing it because it's 40-some years removed.
Yeah.
But yeah, 88%, so that does make me feel a little bit better.
All right.
So you got two tables next week. Back to the massage. We digress.
We digress again.
Two tables. Now, how do you handle this, Steve? Now, you've had massages. Annette's had massages. Do you have two men giving you guys massages? Do you have a man? She has a woman. Does she have a man? You have a man? How's that work?
This was, Annette had scheduled it, so I don't know if she requested anything in particular or not.
The biggest, burliest lumberjack you have.
Yeah. It was two women. Two younger women, and they were fantastic.
Okay.
It was, it was at one of the hotels downtown. They have a really nice spa there. So she had called earlier in the week, set that up. So you go in there, and it's essentially it's a hotel room, basically, but without all the beds, the furniture, and everything. Like, their spa is just a series of different rooms. So we go in there, two beds laid out. Of course, the relaxing sounds of gulls and
what do you pick? Do you get
ocean
to pick
waves?
There? You go ocean? Do you go crackling fire? Do you go rainforest?
It was kind of a mix. And then there's some points where it's just sounds, it's just music, I guess, Enya type stuff.
You said sounds. I thought you just meant maybe a car running.
Yeah, right. So yeah, we walk in there, and the two women, wonderful, very nice, explain the whole thing to us, because I've done a couples massage, I think just one other time, and it was last year on our honeymoon in Sandals, Jamaica. I don't know if I told you about our honeymoon in Sandals, Jamaica.
Sandals, Jamaica.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not familiar with that. Is that like the Holiday Inn down there?
Well, Kyle, it's an all-inclusive resort, meaning that you pay for everything in advance, and you don't have to take out a stack of cash the whole time you're there.
Huh.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you go down there and everything's bought, paid for?
That's right.
Well,
All-inclusive.
certainly that must be on like the south side then.
Northern coast of Jamaica.
The northern Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And as we've heard from you, nobody hangs out with that southern scum.
No. It's the country down there seems pretty god awful
If
outside.
it ain't northern, it ain't right, is I believe what you said when you got back.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, we walk into this room, and
They give you the rundown.
the curtains are open, so we're overlooking the river. It's snowing. It's like everything was just wonderful about the experience. It was really nice.
So forgive my insensitivity following up your delicate explanation of how nice it was.
Yeah.
You guys both just drop trow and you got robes on, or how's this work?
They basically said, the women said, undress to what you feel comfortable.
Okay, so you got denim jeans on and a white T-shirt.
Yeah, overalls.
And a hat.
Yeah, my Carhartt. Yeah, just rub right through that. I'll feel good.
I'll feel it later.
Yeah, maybe put on some winter gloves too. No, so I was down to the underoos.
So you go with the briefs or the boxer briefs.
Yep. Yeah, the boxer briefs, and as I'm standing there about to, because they leave the room while you do that, and then
Sure.
you lay down on the table and pull the blanket up over you. By the way, they have like heated beds.
Oh,
they're fantastic.
As it should be. We're in 2018 and we're still with, doctors' offices and hospitals when they need to use gel or whatever. It's still like they just pulled it from the Antarctic.
I know.
Yet these places, who are our luxuries, can figure out a way to heat the entire bed for you before you even get in.
Fantastic. So I'm about to climb into the bed, and Annette looks at me and she says, "Do you have your underwear on backwards?" And I look down and I say, "Oh, yes, I do."
Wow. So clearly
I'm 95 years old. That's what I took away from this.
Because it's not like it hurt, but you can tell there's something different when they're on backwards.
Boy,
for the most
I could
part.
not. I had no idea, no clue.
Wow.
So I look down and I just laugh, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, it sure does seem that way."
Zip them around.
Take them off, flip them inside out, put them right back on, climbed in that bed, and no one was any the wiser. But
oh man.
so the massage was great. They said the few times I've gotten a massage, they always say the same thing. They say, "Is there any area you want us to focus on? Like, are you sore? Have you had any recent surgeries or like any issues?"
So that's where the porno movies start.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you where to start. I've really been working out.
Boy, have I got one area for you. Wink, wink.
So my upper back and my shoulders are just kind of always feel like they're in knots. I think I need to go to a chiropractor and get
maybe pumping too much lately.
maybe possibly, yeah.
Maybe lower the iron
Well,
quantity.
I've been drinking a lot of muscle punch or whatever.
You got your morning creatine that you're hammering at 6 a.m.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, if you could just like my shoulders feel like there's a bunch of knots in them. Mm-hmm. So she's doing a thing. And it was a 50-minute massage. So she probably spent 20 minutes just on like my upper back and my shoulders. And I felt fantastic. And then at one point, like she does back, legs, feet. And then I hear the woman who's massaging Annette kind of whisper to her, say, "Okay, when you're ready, you can just flip over." Mm-hmm. And then...
Is that for the legs, or do they just do like the front of your...
Yeah, they do. Like, basically, they're just doing the same thing, but they're getting the other side of your arms and everything. Like certain spots are just easier to reach.
Because in my mind, it's like
down.
they're not going to like start rubbing your stomach.
No, like poking my belly. Hey. So then the woman who was massaging me, she said the same thing. This is the only part that made me really uncomfortable was I heard, like I said, I heard the woman say to Annette, "Okay, when you're ready, you can just flip over."
So you knew yours was coming.
Knew mine was coming. I was unprepared when she said, "Okay, when you're ready."
Wait.
You can go ahead and roll over.
Whoa.
I was like,
why is this happening?
Like, why are you talking to me in sex voice? This is...
Yeah, why?
It's uncomfortable.
Did you whisper back? My wife's right there.
No, but I made sure to talk loudly and so cheery, like to kind of offset her sex talk.
Thank you so much, Berta.
I was just like, yep, no problem. Flipping over right now. It was, and then she did it one more time, like right at the end. And they say, because they tell you like, okay, the massage is done. We're going to leave the room. Go ahead and get dressed. Come back out whenever you're done. Take as much time as you need. But it was like, okay, the massage is over. So if you'd like, go ahead and put your clothes back on. Make sure your underwear is not on inside out. You big stupid man.
We saw that on the camera earlier. Yeah, we watch. Oh, we watch.
It really threw me off.
So this is the lady who you need to pass it to single guys who are out there who are going there, and maybe they...
I will not do that because...
Maybe they leave their money clip out and there's like a few extra dollars. Or they come into the room and out of their leather jacket.
You did yes and earlier. I'm doing no. Absolutely no. This was as professional as it gets.
Guys walking in with his leather jacket. With perfectly splayed
no
20s
leather jacket
out of his socket.
There's no 20s.
Oh, sorry. I forgot about these there.
None of that happened.
I should tuck those in.
This is a professional setting. Everybody was of the utmost professionalism.
Oh, those fall on the ground? There's like, what, 24? There's like $100 worth of those 20s.
No. None of that happened.
I'm not saying you did that, Steve. I'm just saying if that, like, she would be the one that the gentleman would go to with the dollars hanging out from his coat pocket if that's what they were there for.
No, none of that.
Let me pick those up.
No one talked like that. Well, someone did talk like that, but not in that.
Yeah, it was
not in that context. So the massage ended, and I said to Annette on the way out, I was like, did your masseuse talk to you in sex voice too? She's like, no. Did you hear mine? Because she kind of did, and it was weird. But everything was on the up and up other than that.
Nice.
And we left super happy. I felt great.
Loose?
Yeah, I felt I don't know, I just felt like relaxed because it's an hour of just like complete relaxation. When you're laying on your stomach, you have your head in one of those little round pillows.
Okay.
So you're basically just staring at the ground for a half hour or so. And man, they need a drool bucket underneath it because I was so relaxed. I'm just like,
You didn't fall asleep?
Didn't fall asleep,
okay.
But man, I was like, at one point I realized like, whoa, I have been zoned out for 15 minutes straight. Just completely in heaven.
Didn't even realize where you were?
No clue. So we finished the massage, came home, and I was just doing some stuff around the house. I went downstairs. I grabbed my shop vac because I wanted to vacuum out the car. It was getting pretty dirty in there.
Sure.
And vacuumed it out. Took like 20 minutes or so. Came back inside, and I sat down to eat lunch. And then I stood back up, and I was in the kitchen just putting some stuff away and kind of loading the dishwasher. And all of a sudden, I had the most intense pain in my back.
Oh.
That made it so I was having trouble breathing. And
did that sex masseuse hurt you?
I don't know if it was like a late reaction or something from the massage. Maybe she poked a nerve or something, or if like the shop vac is pretty, I don't know, it's kind of bulky. Maybe I just picked it up weird, and when I walked up the steps with it, something happened. But dude, I was in agonizing pain laying on the couch. And so Annette went and got me a heating pad, and I just put the heating pad on it. But I had to lay there for like 2 hours before I finally felt like I could stand up. And then I just went right up into the shower, took like a scalding hot shower, and just let the water hit my back. But I'm like, oh man, this would suck so bad, because we had a dinner reservation last night at a nice restaurant.
Yeah. Did you call and maybe yell at him while you're laying flat on your back?
I didn't do that. Yeah, I called him and say,
"You hurt me, you sex witch."
Hey. Could you come over and work out this knot in my back? I think you touched a nerve.
But that's not the only one.
Luckily, everything worked out. We went to a nice restaurant for dinner last night and ate steaks.
Hey,
fantastic.
Medium well.
I thought of you when I was going through the menu. Man, this place is cool. They give you an iPad for a menu. Start flipping through the menu. And everything that shows up on the menu, you just tap on it, and a little picture of it pops up, and it tells you what the chef's...
Oh, you went to Olive Garden.
Yeah. When you're here with your family. So you tap on it, and it shows a picture of the steak, and it says like what the chef's recommended cooking temperature is.
Oh.
So there were quite a few that were medium rare.
Oh. So do you think if I do that and I order like recommended cooking temperature, what medium rare, and I just keep clicking that meter to do whatever.
Yeah, where it's like pink on one side and kind of like charred on the other side.
I just drag the bar to the other side to make sure it's black as night.
Yeah.
Do you think that chef's getting that up?
No, the chef's going to come out and hit you in the face with like a raw steak.
You disrespect my steak. No disrespect, sir, but also, do you have any A1?
Ketchup if you don't have any A1, that's fine too.
Hey, I saw your side options. I didn't see curly fries. Were those by special order or?
Man, this steak was so good though.
Yeah,
I could just keep eating it forever. It was fantastic.
You got your beautiful anniversary dinner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, your massage with the sex witch
with the sex witch. Yeah. Yep. It was great. Loved it. Had a great anniversary.
Again, just message Steve if you want the name of.
No, don't do that, because I will not give you the name of the place I went to, because now it's tainted.
Not the only thing.
Yeah.
So that's good. Happy anniversary to you guys.
Thank you.
As I mentioned before, had a heck of an evening 1 year ago. We were out indulging and enjoying your marriage. I still have the photo booth photos on my fridge.
Of you and Joey?
There's some of me and Joey. There's one me, Joey, me, Mike.
Again, Joey.
Me, Mike, and Doug.
Again, Joey, my nephew.
No, you mispronounced my arch rival.
Right. He is your sports arch rival. Oh, you know what we also did last night? I think I had told the story probably last year, maybe since then, about how after our wedding we went to a bar at one of the hotels downtown and proceeded to drink quite a lot. Mm-hmm. And then we left there, and that was one of my favorite parts of my wedding night was Annette and I walking back to our hotel, because there's like a skyway through, or a skywalk through downtown Grand Rapids. So we were going from the hotel that we had just had a couple drinks at back to our hotel through this basically covered walkway through downtown. And that was my favorite part of the night, because at that point it was just me and her.
Yep, which is the only time.
Holding hands.
The whole day.
Walking back, and and a few people walked by, and everybody who walked by says congratulations. And I thought, man, this is really cool. Like, it's great to be surrounded by our friends and friends and family. But yeah, that was the first time that whole day that it was just me and her. And then we get back to our hotel, we walk into the lobby, and we're like, let's have a nightcap, one more drink.
Go to the mini bar then?
No. We were like in the
lobby.
The full lobby bar. So we walk up, go to order 2 drinks, and the bartender says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't serve you. It's past last call." And my wife, who was probably as drunk as I've ever seen her, says, "This place sucks. This Grand Rapids is so lame."
So now you're apologizing.
I'm like, I'm sorry
for your bride.
Yeah. So after dinner last night, the place that we had dinner at last night was right across the street from that hotel.
Uh-huh.
So Annette said, why don't we go over and finally get that drink? So we walked over there.
What time was this?
Last night?
No, last night. That makes
last
sense.
night.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, 9:30 or something. So we walked over, and it was really cool. Like, we sat down and finally had the drink that we tried to get a year
that's
ago.
Nice. That's a little late for you.
On our wedding night. Actually, I think No. This couldn't have been 9 or 9:30 because we were home by then. Of course. I mean,
Steve, as we all know, Steve, 9:30. It's well past
the witching hour.
The witching hour, which on the weekends is the 8 p.m. hour.
Right.
Did you see that? Did you see those images I posted this weekend?
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, did you cross out a time and put 8?
Oh, I didn't cross anything out. I just used the phone marker and drew over 12.
Right. Yeah.
Is there an official witching hour? Is 12 I thought 3 a.m. was the witching hour. In historical purposes, and for whenever that's referenced, I thought it was 3.
Maybe your history. My history, 8 p.m. That's the witching hour. So, fantastic anniversary.
That's awesome.
Had a great first year of marriage. Looking forward to year 2 and many years beyond that.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. You seem like a couple who will be, celebrating your anniversary. I don't think you're not shaping up to be I just forgot. It snuck up on us.
No, I don't think so. But
I didn't do anything.
No, but we're pretty low key. Like we didn't, like our gift to each other was, let's go out, let's do the couples massages.
Sure.
Let's have a nice dinner and have a good time. So it was, it was a lot of fun.
I am trying to pull this up quickly because I have a question for you.
What do you got?
Because I feel like I need to have a real legitimate heart-to-heart with you. And you know what? A heart-to-heart's not the way to put it. Steve, I need to have an intervention.
Uh-oh.
With you.
I don't smoke crack.
Yep.
I don't drink a lot.
Nope. But we've talked about this a handful of times in the 2+ years we've been doing this podcast.
Yeah, 2.5 years.
You've moved. You've done a lot of projects, and I've checked in a few times. It seems like you were doing the Jeep thing for a while. That flopped.
Boy, had a very Steve moment yesterday.
Oh no!
With the Jeep sale.
No!
Should we digress and talk about that?
I think you know what. Keep it on the back burner. Well, let's finish. I want to finish this train of thought with you, but I need to hear, because that is still on the constant list for me that I essentially want to send over every week. Yeah. Steve's Jeep is still not sold. Now, whatever you're going to tell me is news to me.
Yeah.
But we talked about this.
Let me just tell you, you won't be in any way surprised.
Good. We've talked about your incessant need to have something to do. I don't know if it's that you do. I think you bore easily, maybe.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Because you don't have cable. It's not like you're sitting there, like I ate 18 hours of this in a row. I didn't even realize the day was gone.
I like working on stuff. I like building stuff and tinkering with things, taking stuff apart, putting it back together.
Yep, APS 4.0 coming 2020 never.
Uh-huh. Right over there.
Hey,
come on. We just discussed
APS
4.0. 20 minutes ago, 37 minutes ago now.
Been a fast-moving episode.
Before this episode started.
So imagine my astonishment because I feel like we talked about this. It couldn't have been too long ago when I brought it up to you, and you said, as of right now, you didn't have anything in the pipeline. Now you did redid all the floors, you did all the trim, you painted.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty to do. We just the living room. It kind of wore us down a bit because we spread it out way too much over a couple months, and it was a big project. We're just like, no, let's not jump into anything. But now that it's winter, we'll probably end up, we have plans to paint upstairs and do some smaller scale projects.
Which, so you nothing really struck you last time I asked you. Said, nothing immediately on the horizon.
Always ideas.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was an idea that Annette wants to knock out a wall up there, which is obviously large scale.
Yeah.
But I didn't get the sense that was coming up soon.
Right.
So imagine my surprise strolling through Facebook,
Oh.
and I see on our lovable watchdog page, the old informer, looking to possibly build. Now, this is not where this is where it gets from like, hey, that's not a big deal, to what the hell's he thinking?
Yeah.
A 20 by 20 building in the backyard. Anyone have experience with builders that you'd recommend?
Sure.
And that was posted by no one other than you.
That was me, yeah.
So you're sitting there. You got a cup of, well, you don't drink coffee. You got a cup of hot tea.
Yeah.
Saturday morning.
It's tea o'clock somewhere.
It's tea o'clock somewhere. Annette's got, the dog's between you on the couch. You're sitting there. You've got You Wrench the Jeep Wheels on YouTube, the weekly episode.
I love that show. You Wrench the Jeep Wheels.
That's the
now is that now it's got to be cool and internet and trendy.
Yeah.
So it's the letter U, and then Wheels has a Z at the end.
obviously.
Yeah.
And like somewhere in the word wrench, instead of a letter, is a wrench.
A wrench, yeah.
A wrench. So so Steve's catching up on his YouTube backlog of You Wrench the Jeep Wheels. And you let the dog out, and you're sitting, you're waiting for the dog to come back in, and you're looking out there, and you say, a lot of unused space out there.
A lot of real estate.
You turn, and on a whim, you say, honey, you know what we need to do? Build a pole barn in the backyard.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, Steve, what spurred this? Where are we? Is this the new top line project for you?
Well, this has been discussed since before we bought this house.
Okay.
Because when we were looking for a house, you know how you have your list of, it's got to be 3 bedrooms, it's got to have a open concept, and there needs to be a great kitchen.
Yeah.
This was on the list, but it wasn't a deal breaker.
Sure.
So it was, ideally we wanted a 2-car garage so we can both park inside in the winter. That is absolutely necessary. And my dream was that it has a 3-car garage or a separate pole building or separate garage, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So we moved in here, 2-car garage, and we have a small shed in the backyard. I think it's like 9 feet by 9 feet or something. And which is a decent sized shed, but once you pull the riding lawnmower in there, there's not room for anything else. So a couple months ago, actually maybe 6 months ago, we thought, okay, let's go over to like Home Depot or Lowe's, and they always have those big sheds out in the parking lot that you can walk in and figure out, okay, this is what we want. And then you order it.
Yeah.
And they can, if it's small enough, they can actually show up to your house and deliver it completely assembled. You put it out in the yard. So the more we thought about it, I'm like, man, it'd be nice to, like, if I don't think that we couldn't really find one that really fit exactly what we wanted. And then the more I thought about it, and Annette brought it up, she's like, well, you kind of always plan on having some kind of project going on, right? I was like, yeah. Like, I'm always going to be working on something. Once we get rid of this Jeep that we got 6 months ago at this point.
Yeah, it's the yearly Jeep. Yeah.
I will no doubt have another project, buy it, work on it, sell it, and it would be nice to be able to do that year-round. But if I want to do it year-round, I can't park it in our garage because then I have to move my car outside.
Into the driveway, yeah.
And I refuse to ever clear snow off of my car at my house ever again in the history of my life.
Yeah.
So we just decided that, okay, well, let's build something a little bit bigger. It'll double as our shed because we keep the mower and all that crap out there. But then there's enough room where I can pull a vehicle in there. Because when we got our fence installed when we first moved in, I made sure that they put in, we got like a double wide gate on the one side. So it's an 8-foot wide gate. So I can drive a vehicle back there. I was planning for this long before we even moved in.
So you've been thinking this. Now, were you thinking of this on this scale?
Yeah, kind of.
So what is it? What happened in the last week that had you sitting around and now it's stirred its way to the top of your brain instead of just the backlog?
Because Annette and I always talk about, like, all right, well, what should, like, I don't know. You walk around. I'm sure you guys do it too. You walk around your house and you look at something and you're like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if that was done differently? Or wouldn't it be nice if we could update this? And every time we start talking about things we want to update, to her credit, Annette always says, well, we've been talking about doing this shed or this building.
Yeah.
Like from the beginning. Why don't we just do that first? Why don't we get that out of the way first? Because it's a big project.
Yeah.
So
would you have to clear some of your forest for it?
Not as much as we thought. There's an area out basically behind our old shed. There are some saplings that we would have to cut down, but we decided we don't want to cut down any big trees. So it would be an afternoon with a chainsaw cutting some stuff down. We got to get some concrete poured.
Yeah, it's an inclusive process.
It's a big deal.
Extensive. So by my interpretation of your posting, this is a you thing? You're not going to hire this out, cut a check, and say, let me know when you're done?
Oh, no, this is a someone else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I just said looking to possibly build. I didn't know if that meant you yourself.
No, I mean, I feel like I probably could do it with help. But it's not something like it's not like I could call up, if I were to give you a call and say, hey, can you come over and help me for an hour or two? I just gotta.
Yeah. Can you help me pour concrete today?
Can you? Oh, by the way, bring like 12 of your friends and galoshes if you have them because it's gonna get dirty. No, this is something that.
Any experience with putting up trusses?
Yeah. So I went on the website of one of the local home improvement stores, and you can actually buy a whole garage kit where they basically send you all the wood just gets dropped off in your driveway. So I don't know. I think we're hoping to do something. At this point, it's too late in the year to do it.
To do it this year.
Maybe
the ground's probably going to be really hard here very soon.
Maybe in the spring. I don't know.
That's not bad. You got tax money coming up. You get all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's on the list. I'm glad to hear you're hiring it. Well, glad for your sake, not glad for the podcast sake to hear that you're hiring this out.
Yeah.
Because a part of me really wants to come over one day and realize you've been outside since 5:30 in the morning. And you've got cement in your hair, nails in your boots, and you sit down and you're just frazzled, and you realize you put something on backwards, and now the shed's reversed or something.
Yeah,
so
the door's in the back.
Yeah, and so now you have to move a fence because your door you can't get in or out. So, but I am glad to hear for your sanity that you will just be in the spring. Coming home from work, looking at progress.
I'm not ruling out the fact that I'll make a poor decision and decide I can do this.
I mean,
I was born to do this,
honey. It's a kit. I'm not the only one to do it.
And it comes with instructions. It's like Legos, basically.
And Bob's gonna come out for a weekend.
Oh yeah, we'll be on true Bob time.
And we'll go from that grassy patch to a building with a roof in 2 days.
Yeah,
no question.
Yeah, no, not. Well, no, I'm not going to say not going to happen. I'm going to try to say not going to happen, but it might happen.
So 20 by 20.
Well,
you're looking to store.
I'm not sure if we can fit 20 by 20.
Okay.
It's because depending on I have to go to the township first and figure out what all the specifications are.
Sure.
I know it's got to be there's setbacks, so I can only be so close to the edge of the property line and everything. So.
All these township zoning rules.
Yeah.
What do you buying an RV down the road, a camper? What are you storing in there? Maybe a boat?
Honestly, 20 by 20 it's less than.
What his room's 20 feet wide?
No.
Maybe a little more?
Probably a little less.
You think a little less than 20?
It would be 20 by 20 is roughly, it's a little bit smaller than a full-size 2-car garage.
All right. You want, and if I know you're doing this once, you're doing it right. You're going to have heat.
I was thinking how cool it would be to have a wood-burning stove out there.
You got to have something, right? Because if the idea is you want to go out there in the middle of winter and wrench on your the first Jeep that you still hold on to, and you decided to rebuild it again because you're bored.
Right. Yeah. Well, that and we over the summer we discovered that there's a massive pile of firewood out in our backyard.
Oh, right.
I don't know how we didn't see it because now that all the leaves have dropped, you look out there and we were talking about it yesterday. Annette said, "How did we not realize that?" Right. It was basically there's like a neon sign with an arrow pointing to it that says "Big wood pile here," and we missed it. Completely missed it.
Just didn't see it. Yeah. Well, hey, now you do fires, and obviously your new wood stove that you're going to use to burn down your new 20 by 20 garage.
No. That'll be installed perfectly.
Yeah, nothing could go wrong.
To code.
Nothing could go wrong. Okay, I just wanted to check on you.
Yeah.
I was worried. I thought,
Were you? Yeah.
I thought,
worried.
Here we go, another Steve project.
Yeah.
Where now I think I've told you you've seen the neighbors who live behind me are building their own pole barn / shed for
I think
pool
I think
supplies.
that would classify as a shed. I think.
Yeah, that's
it's a big shed.
It is. It's probably 10 by 20, 10 by 15.
But boy, does it! It looks like you put up the green monster from Fenway Park in your backyard.
It is.
Now, are you okay with it because it gives you more privacy?
Oh yeah, sure. I won't have to hear. Now they installed a pool this summer, so I won't have to see.
Oh, that pool is new?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
I won't have to hear or see that coming up this year at all. So that's kind of nice. But as my cautionary tale to you, now I would anticipate you are probably more experienced with things like this than my neighbor probably is. He started this in October. And he gave up last week by putting what I'm guessing is what you put like a sheet down that you would shingle over. It's like a black
felt
thin
paper
sheet. Yeah, that's down, and that's it.
Should probably
no
put some
doors
shingles on top of
no
that.
doors, no windows. He has a tarp over that because I'm assuming he's out and he was thinking about hiring out shingling. So yeah, I want to say it's been at least 6 weeks.
So he did the whole thing by himself, and then he gave
with
up on
his
shingling?
dad's help. Yeah, I think he
Man.
ran out of time. I don't think he anticipated how long it would take him using one of these kits that he found at a home improvement store.
Yeah.
I don't think he anticipated it. So that would be. But I think you're better than that. So if you decide you want to do this, I want to come over and document it. Not interested in participating.
No, of course not.
But I'd like to document that.
Okay. I've done shingling before. I put a partial roof on my old house.
Sure.
Of course, it got ripped off 6 months later because it was still leaking, and I just paid someone to come and do it right.
F it. I can't do this anymore. Here's a check.
That was the worst, man. I was like, I moved out of the house the day that the new roof was finished. So I couldn't even
enjoy it.
I couldn't even enjoy my new non-leaking
You could
roof.
take a picture of someone else's house that just got re-roofed. That's essentially the best case scenario for you.
So I appreciate your concern, but like I said, there is no chance, slight chance, that I will do this on my own.
Oh, I can't wait. Bob, get ready. Flying in for a weekend.
I'm thinking it's going to be like a man cave out there.
Yeah.
Put like a TV on the wall.
Pool table.
Dartboard.
Pool table out there.
Maybe an old Ms. Pac-Man machine.
Like a ping pong table that folds up.
Yeah. Hot tub.
Recliners.
Yeah. I mean, that'll probably use up all of the space.
Nude ladies on the wall.
Yeah, I'll get some mud flaps off a big rig with the chrome trucker girl.
Yeah, and then when you walk in, it's beer o'clock somewhere.
Oh yeah, I'll do a bar.
Oh,
bar down one
the
side.
wall. Absolutely, that's essential.
And then skee ball down the other side, or shuffleboard down the other side. Is that what it's called? Shuffleboard? A little.
Yeah, I feel like we're tapping a little bit into the older generation with shuffleboard.
Really? No, I'm not thinking like the stuff you do on cruise ships.
No, I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess you're right. Where you're just using your hand, sliding the discs along
like
the table with
heavy,
sawdust.
heavy metal.
Yeah, curling, but on a smaller table.
Yeah,
Right?
and without the people
and without the
sweeping.
brooms.
Yeah.
Without the brooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
So you're
do
going to
that.
come over to my man cave?
Yeah, I'll help you build if it's going to be a man cave, but if it's going to be some boring storage unit, I can see those
come
anywhere.
on. It's going to be... look, I already have... Oh, man, I'm so excited about this. I laid awake the other night thinking how I'm going to build a separate little area for my compressor, and I'm going to insulate it so that way you can't hear it when it's running. That's exciting, right?
Huh?
You know.
Yeah. Ooh. Boy, everybody talks about amenities. They don't really think of the stuff that gets you hot and bothered. like insulation.
I feel as though you're not as excited about this as I am.
Here's my question, and I'll temper my excitement until I hear the answer to this.
All right, come on. Let's hear
it. Where does this put APS 4.0?
APS what? Come again now?
2020 never. Right back on track.
Yeah.
Yeah. Couple years.
That room is ready. Just prime for something.
So this coming 20. Yeah. Is that right?
Ooh, idea.
Oh, good. Well, thank God you were running low between the pole barn and knocking out a wall and
How
the
about
APS 4.0.
Instead of 20 by 20, do like 24 by 24.
Whoa.
We move the podcast out there. We go outdoors.
Whoa. You have my attention.
That way, instead of that little electric fireplace, we got an actual wood-burning stove in there.
Hear me out here.
Okay.
You're going to have air conditioning.
Yeah.
July gets hot.
I'll have a fan.
So it's you and I sitting, just one box fan blowing at our faces.
Well, we'll put a block of ice in front of the fan. And,
Sure. Yeah, no, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. All right, so APS 4.0 is, boy, what a whirlwind that thing's taken. Went from 2020 whatever to
to a month from now.
Yeah, 6 weeks ago, you're like, yeah, we're going to start it any day. And now it's officially back on the back burner.
Oh, yeah. Way on the back burner. No chance that'll ever happen.
Well, I'm sure glad we discussed some minute detail.
You got any room at your house? We could build it there.
Yeah, I got a basement bedroom I could make work.
You got that baby's room.
Yeah.
Come on. Well,
yeah.
come on.
I got a storage.
What's he need a whole room for? He's like a foot long.
Put up one of those divider walls. It'll be fine.
Like those accordion walls.
Yeah, absolutely. Soundproof.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We've gone too far. I did want to mention this as well, Steve, before we got too far, because we mentioned at the end of last week's episode, so I don't know if everybody got to hear it. But we have decided, as of 1 week ago, to expand the Steve and Kyle non-denominational holiday gift exchange, which is usually the last 2 years
I think
just our staff.
I think even saying holiday is a little too.
Sorry, the non-denominational
winter solstice
celebration gift exchange.
Yeah.
That boy, we need that on a shirt. Need that on an acronym. What would that be? SKPWS. Yeah. We have expanded that as a week ago. We want to include the listening audience.
Yeah, because the last 2 years it's just been
the staff.
Those of us here on the staff, me, you, Guillermo, Kevin, Lucinda, Rachel. I don't know why I'm trying to overcomplicate their names.
And obviously our intern staff that recycles and changes out throughout the years that have participated in the winter solstice exchange.
Mm-hmm.
This year we want to include the listening audience.
Yeah, and at first we tried to talk ourselves out of it because we thought this is going to be way too tough. Then we realized it would literally require us to send a name and address to someone. I think we can handle it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So we have a handful of people who apparently listen to the whole podcast.
We got 10 people.
10 people are in
that
so
want to
far.
be in on the Secret Santa. So you have another week. You have until the November 27th, I think, is what we said last week, to get us your info if you're interested. All you have to do is facebook.com/StephenKyle or on Twitter @StephenKyle.
Yeah.
Send us a direct message. Let us know your full name.
Sure.
And your mailing address. And obviously, yes, I'm in on the Secret Santa. And then what we'll do is I would say probably by December 1st, we will then send you the name and address of the person that was randomly drawn for you.
Yeah.
And then all we ask is that you actually follow through, put a gift in the mail, and send it to them. Now, here in the podcast studio, for our staff, we do a $10 max.
Yeah.
But I think that, we probably should make them...
Just don't go over like 15, 20. I mean,
Yeah.
listen,
Don't go crazy with it.
we're getting names and addresses. We don't need Michael Scott from The Office giving out a new iPod.
New iPod. Yeah.
Like, don't, and I don't know that anybody would do that, but just don't be extravagant. Don't go over $15-$20, something like that. Now I know that shipping is an additional cost, so if you want to take that into account, please do.
Yeah,
We're not
maybe
gonna
do a $10, maybe $20 gift, and then whatever the shipping is.
Yeah,
on
and
top
that's
of
whatever you're comfortable with or whatever you feel like. So there isn't any pressure for anybody. Well, you didn't do 20, you only did 10. You don't count. You're out next year, or whatever.
Yeah,
that's not it. It doesn't matter. This is for the fun of it to have our entire listening audience be able to interact and send gifts to one another that we will organize, and then we'll figure out a way to share all those gifts received from people. And if you want to tell that person I got you that later on, that's your own. That's you can go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
So please, like Steve mentioned, message us on Facebook or Twitter. Let us know you want in, and then send us your address. That would help also as well. We'll begin compiling those names here, and then we'll send a name out to you, probably like Steve said, by the first of the month. And so you can compile a package, send that out.
Yeah. Do us this favor. If you're going to do it, please follow through, because we'd feel pretty bad if we, somebody didn't get anything because you were a lazy bum. So maybe once you send out the gift, actually let us know, hey, I sent it out today, so that way we can kind of keep track of where everything's going.
The thing too is we're going to know. Like we'll know, we're the one giving out the names to other people. So if you don't send out a gift, you're going to be the jerk who's now yelled at on a podcast.
Yeah.
That
for 1 year.
That
one calendar year.
Yeah.
Until you make up for it next winter solstice.
So Steve's neighbors are going to be real mad at you. That's what we're getting at. And you don't want that in your life.
No.
You don't want that. You shouldn't have to do that. So it's, again, this is for the fun of it. Nobody's forcing you to participate. If you want in, message us. We'll make this happen. I think this is something cool that we can do even on a small scale. But we already have 10 people. That's like 8 more than I anticipated. I feel like I thought we would be on the podcast like faking numbers. Say, oh boy, the turnout was high.
Yeah. No, it was surprising. And I noticed the first message was... Man, somebody must have downloaded the podcast immediately last week and listened to it.
Was it early on?
It was, because the podcast drops at like 7 a.m. on Tuesdays, and by 8:15 we had a message from somebody, I think on Facebook, saying, count me in.
That's great.
So
that's great.
We appreciate you listening, and it's just a fun thing to do leading up to the holidays. So if you're interested, send us a message. Again, facebook.com/Steve and Kyle, or on Twitter @Steve and Kyle. Send us a direct message. Don't post it publicly. We don't want your address being out there.
Sure. You can let us know you're interested, but make sure you follow up with a direct message. So we have the way, obviously, I can look at all the messages and I have all the addresses. That makes it easier for everybody.
Yeah. All we're going to do is take it, put it into some kind of randomizer, and we will send you your partner, the person you're paired up with.
Sure.
By, we'll say December 1st. That way there's plenty of time to order something, have it shipped right to them, or if you want to go out and buy something, package it up. I thought it would be cool to maybe send something, like if you're from Maine and you get somebody in Tennessee, maybe find something that's like
from Maine.
Unique to your area.
Sure. I love that idea. I also love tying it into the podcast if you feel so inclined. So maybe a suspension bridge book or a vinyl recording of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
You know what I just thought of?
Mm-hmm.
This little building that I'm putting up in the backyard.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can find a contractor who will theme it after a covered bridge.
You really want that on your...
Make it out of like logs.
Really want to hurt the resale on this house, huh?
You
want like a log cabin-esque?
Yeah.
Covered... because covered bridges don't look like log cabins. They look like shoddily put together 2x4s nailed into random crossbeams.
It's going to have,
that's the appearance you want?
It's going to have a garage door on both ends.
Sure.
So I could drive right through if I wanted to. It's going to be nice.
Yeah, don't worry about the podcast being recorded in that dump because it'll burn down or collapse almost immediately. No, piece of crap.
Strong opinions.
But, because I don't think... and this is partially being lazy, but partially the interesting part of the Secret Santa. We're not gonna ask for. Sorry. Oh my God. The Winter Solstice non-denominational gift exchange is we're not going to ask people their interests. Like, hey,
No.
what do you like? No, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to give you clothing size. None of this is going to happen. It's a legitimate Winter Solstice non-denominational gift exchange where you're not going to know anything. So make it your own if you feel so inclined.
You're going to know their name, though, so don't go stalking them out on Twitter.
Don't be weird.
Yeah, don't be weird like that. Don't try to figure out what they like.
Yeah.
No,
thanks.
random.
So yes, please let us know. We'd love to fill up our Twitter feed around the holiday season, around the winter solstice.
Yeah, and what we'll do, we'll come up with a
hashtag or something.
with a hashtag that's just way too long.
Nobody will use it.
No, because right now it's going to be hashtag non-denominational winter solstice gift exchange.
Yeah. So you have 0 characters to actually type anything else.
Or hashtag NDWSGE. Nidwizgi.
We're not going to run into any accidental searches for that, are we?
No. Hashtag Nidwizgi was Nidwizgi.
Well, it's no different than our other acronyms that we might put up on our billboard.
Yeah.
That don't make any sense.
Which is still happening, by the way.
Still happening.
Still happening.
Steve wants everybody to understand the billboard is still on the way.
Still happening. Now, I notice you're looking up at our list here. I want to know, you had mentioned something about how, I think last week or maybe the week before, there was some kind of historical something that happened a year ago or was it 2 years ago?
No. This is long before that, Steve. This week marks an important date for this podcast.
Podcast history.
You're listening to this the third week in November. Well, important to remind everybody that just 55 years ago this week, one man had one bad day at work. Went home.
Okay. No, please continue with your bastardization of
came
of
back,
a hated American.
Came back, boss riding him about too long of a smoke break.
Is this all historically accurate? Because I watched like 4 Days in November. I remember.
I don't even know what that is.
It was a
propaganda.
Fake
boss
news. This is the earliest fake news that anybody can remember.
This man went upstairs to kind of cool off a little bit.
Wait, he went home?
No, he went upstairs at work because the boss just rode him for too long of a smoke break.
Yeah,
he said, hey, I got to go decompress.
What, you go up to the sixth floor?
Something like that.
Hang out at the window?
And, people decompress in different ways. Some people,
JFK would agree.
Like you...
pressure was released. Because of your hero.
Hero is not the term I'm using. Simply saying this man went upstairs to decompress, and maybe he uses a rifle and some target practice to decompress. A lot of people different ways. Weapons. Some people hit a boxing, a speed bag or a heavy bag.
Yeah.
Some people have to go out for a run. Maybe this man just decided he needed to fire a rifle, and he just chose a bad time on his worst day at work ever. And that was the day that former President John F. Kennedy was killed, possibly accidentally, by Lee Harvey Oswald.
So you're going to say that
55 years ago today,
Lee Harvey Oswald was simply decompressing and taking target practice during a presidential parade
that
Steve happened to drive past the Texas School Book Depository in Dallas, Texas, where your hero, librarian, book boxer, Lee Harvey Oswald just happened to be taking target practice out the sixth floor window, and it was an errant shot that accidentally hit the beloved president.
Steve, without airing too much dirty laundry, I'm certain you've had a day or two at work, gone home, and you thought, boy, that was rough, and I'm stressed out, and maybe you've...
I don't like where this is going.
Maybe you've poured yourself a drink, right?
No.
Maybe you've gone out and chopped wood.
Nope.
Well, Lee shoots guns, okay? 55 years ago this week, Lee Harvey Oswald, former Texas #1 librarian, happened to fire and happened to hit President at the time, John F. Kennedy.
I believe he also hit the governor of Texas.
Yeah, what was that guy's
Governor
name?
Connolly.
Connolly. Yes, that's right. I've seen Oliver Stone's movie. Who knows what actually happened?
Well, now I will believe with who knows. Well, we know what happened, but man, it's a good conspiracy theory. Do you think I think we've talked about this. Was there a second gunman?
There has to have been
On the grassy knoll.
There has to have been a second gunman, and it's a reminder as well to, again, thank you to Nikki for making those lovely shirts that we cannot wear in public, but we thoroughly enjoy. I believe she has some pictures posted. Maybe she can post one again of her in the shirt, because I think she has one herself.
Nikki wore that shirt, I believe, when Nikki drove from Portland, Maine to Grand Rapids, Michigan for the Side Gigs night show back in April or May. Nikki wore that shirt to the night show, and I remember talking to her backstage at the VIP meet and greet.
Sure.
And feeling very uncomfortable that she was wearing that shirt.
Did anybody ask about it?
I don't think so, because I think it's like you really got to look at that shirt to figure out, oh, that's what's going on that shirt. But yeah, it's a #1 librarian, and there's crosshairs.
Yep. What's fascinating about this story is Oswald's, was wife, but according to all reports that was on the fritz, he had moved out and things were not going well. But she has now come all the way back around and thinking he is totally innocent again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize she was still alive.
Maria, I want to say, isn't she Russian, or she's of some foreign descent? But yeah, she has come around and again is fully on board that he was innocent. Now I don't know if that's a grab to get more publicity and say, whoa, let's interview Lee Harvey Oswald's former spouse.
Never realized she was still alive. By the way, based on like us talking about this, if you haven't watched the Hulu special 11/22/63, which is an adaptation of Stephen King
novel, one of his his recent books. He usually gets okay to good reviews, but Stephen King struggles a lot when he gets to the ending of a book. But this is regarded as one of his better efforts in the last 10 to 12 years.
But 11/22/63, the Hulu special, I think it was 10 or 12 episodes. Basically, the plot is that some guy finds a way to essentially travel back in time. He basically finds like a wormhole where he can travel back in time to 1962 or 1963. I think he travels back to about a year before Kennedy was assassinated, and has the ability to change the course of history to either stop or let the assassination go through. And it's awesome.
It's really good.
It's so good.
James Franco plays the lead character, but it's really, really cool idea, and it obviously brings you back to that era and that story, which just still... Is there another conspiracy theory that's been as long held as, I guess, Roswell?
Moon landing. There are people that are...
Isn't the moon landing newer, though? Like, I feel like JFK from the start...
Because the moon landing was 1969.
Yeah.
I would bet that there were people in 1969 who probably said no chance this didn't happen. But yeah, I think Roswell's a good one.
Because Roswell from the get-go was regarded as, whoa, that was alien. That's not something that came along in years past, like the moon landing. Moon landing, I feel like, is new-ish in the last 20 years where people said, hey, was that fake?
I wonder how,
But JFK is much more strongly held. Like, I think that maybe that should be our poll question. What's the more prominent conspiracy theory, JFK assassination or Roswell? Because those are the top two in the United States anyway.
Because Roswell was in the 40s.
And people will point to Roswell because there's a newspaper report right after it, like essentially saying the government admitted it. But then every instance after that was saying, no, it wasn't that. So, Those have got to be the top two longly held conspiracy theories in the United States, unless there's one we're missing.
Well, then because there was that documentary about Roswell called Independence Day. Which, shed a lot of light that people just.
Who was that? It was President Bill Pullman.
That'll be Pullman.
And then Bill Pullman, and then obviously everybody's favorite 90s Randy Quaid.
Yep.
But we're lucky enough. Now, this is an honor.
Air Force Captain Will Smith.
This is an honor that not a lot of people have, but both President Bill Pullman and 90s Randy Quaid follow us on Twitter, Steve.
Bill Pullman.
Maybe they can chime in with their thoughts.
Let us know.
Because they were part of that whole tale. You all remember Air Force Captain Will Smith dragging that alien through the desert?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they wouldn't go quietly into the night. They would not go down without a fight. Today they celebrate their Independence Day.
Mm.
Boy, still get goosebumps hearing that.
Greatest movie speech ever.
I'll agree with that. Finally, we have found something.
We found a common ground.
2.5 years, and we have found something that we agree on.
We found something that we can actually, that's great.
Bill Pullman.
Happy anniversary. Apologies to the Kennedy family. I can't believe you got in the way of that accident happening.
Apologies to the... Jesus. Boy, if that isn't the most understated apology...
Listen, wrong time, wrong place. They're not the first, just like that girl who was in the other Kennedy's trunk. Wrong time, wrong place. Yeah. It happens.
Yeah. Seems very, very disingenuous on your part.
Hey, I feel bad for everybody who caught in the wrong place at the wrong time.
All right. Well, let's get into this.
Fast five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. It is time for the Fast Five.
Whoa! Good for you. You had 5 all prepared, Steve.
Yeah, definitely didn't just type out number 5 right there.
You want to kick off or me?
Yeah, I'll go.
Go ahead.
Okay, first, this person may hold the record for being on my Fast Five the most times ever in the 2.5 years.
It's got to be Floyd Mayweather then.
Floyd Mayweather, once
there
again.
It is. I'm finally done.
The fight is back on,
I'm
he
done.
says. He says that the fight with a Japanese kickboxer is back on, and it's a no-brainer. You're done. You're sick of it.
That's it. I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying.
That's a bold statement. We'll get back to that, though. Next, the California wildfires.
Unimaginable. Can you imagine just being home eating dinner and then realizing, I have to leave within an hour.
Yeah.
I might die as this
Insane.
consumes my home.
Some of those videos of people escaping through the flame, like driving through the flames. Insane. Next, Thanksgiving. Just, 2 days away if you're listening to this podcast when it comes out.
Yeah, it's a solid Tier 2 holiday.
Tier 2?
Solid Tier 2.
Okay, I'll take solid Tier 2. Next, Monica Lewinsky.
I don't think she's hounding for publicity. She has actually been against that. She just needs to not answer questions anymore about that.
Well, she's doing like an A&E docuseries.
Oh, is it on the 90s or something, or is it about that scandal?
No, it's a full docuseries on the whole scandal, the Clinton Lewinsky scandal. Up until this point, she's basically said, no, I'm not talking about it, trying to distance herself from it and get away from it as much as possible. But yeah, she's now doing a docuseries on it. So I wonder if money talks. Would have to be that, right? And let's see. Finally, Black Friday deals. You going out? You doing it?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay.
I like going out. I like watching the crowds. I like picking through Blu-rays and video games and the stuff that people are there for.
You got your eyes on anything this year? Like last year it was the TV.
Yeah, no, nothing this year.
Nothing at all.
Nothing. I'll be out Thursday night. Probably go poke around a little bit on Friday.
I'll be in bed. Out. I will not make that mistake again.
You're not getting out there, huh?
Nope, big mistake. That was a big mistake.
What do you mean? We both went out. I got a TV.
Yeah, I didn't. Huh. Yeah. I got swindled out of a TV.
Yeah, you know what they say: wrong time, wrong place. You and the Kennedys.
Boy, I don't know if I'd put it up on that level. Seems a little overstated there, but yeah. Did get a new TV though. We finally got one a couple months ago, and it's fantastic. And paid $0 for it, so very happy about that.
Well, let's not sugarcoat it. You had to rack up some credit card points to get there. And
Sure did. But that money had to be spent anyway.
it's a good point.
Yeah, that was great. Spent nothing for it. Got a
Beautiful TV. I got
65 inch. Yeah.
Beautiful.
How big's
TV.
yours?
Smart TV, 55 inches.
65
Did I
inches.
tell you how much I paid for that?
Was it like, how much was that?
Less
I don't
than
know.
$300 at the point.
Was it really?
Yep.
Is that still a good deal?
Probably not.
Yeah, I
It's
bet
probably
it's crazy
awful
how fast that.
Yeah,
like now you can probably get a 78-inch TV for for a nickel.
Yeah, TV prices are the most. They're dropping like cinder block. Like it's crazy how fast they're dropping.
Yeah, I still want to get like the projector. That's my goal. I want the projector projected on the wall, like 150 inches or something. That's what I need. Okay, before Black Friday deals, we had Monica Lewinsky back in the limelight. I kind of feel bad for her.
See, I feel bad for her. She was in the news, what was it, months ago, where she was doing a panel or something, and they asked her a question about Clinton, and she got up and left.
She specifically said, "I will not answer questions
Correct.
about it." Now, I don't know what does she do now. I have no idea what she does.
Last I heard, she was an activist, like an anti-bullying activist, which makes sense because, well, can you imagine if Twitter was around then?
Oh God.
I mean, that's the thing that worries you that may have driven her to something other than just being withdrawn.
Yeah.
So but yeah, she's back and doing interviews, and the one that I believe caught the attention was her quote saying she would apologize to Hillary and Chelsea if she saw them. Mm-hmm. Does that matter at this point? 20 years? 25 years?
More than that, yeah, 25 years. I don't know. I feel bad for her because she was taken advantage of by somebody who was in the most powerful office in the world.
Sure.
Real scumbag move on Bill's part. Yeah, I'm torn though. Like, should you do a docu-series about it at this point? Yeah, maybe. If you want to actually set the record straight and say this is what happened, this is how terribly I was treated.
But is it a docu-series really? Because I can't imagine Clinton is involved. None of that can.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
so it's a
docu-series.
I mean, I'm not going to call it propaganda, but it's essentially her organizing this to get
one
her
side of the story
out, which has already been out. The Kenneth Starr report is pretty inclusive on everything that happened in explicit detail.
I do feel bad for her though, because there was one quote that I had heard last week where she said that it was bad enough where she wanted to kill herself.
Sure.
Wanted to commit suicide.
And that's why I say, in hindsight, the social media, it's better for her that probably wasn't around, because you can say as much as you want, well, I don't read that. It's impossible for that not to make it to you with a scandal of that size.
Before that, we had Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Greatest holiday of them all.
Solid tier 2 holiday, Steve, that obviously falls in right behind Christmas and Halloween. Thanksgiving, a firm number 3, possibly number 4 if you're a real 4th of July fireworks fan. But yeah, it's a fine holiday.
So you coming over this year for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, what do I need to bring?
Well, I believe last year you were going to bring like 4 breadsticks, was it?
No, I was going to bring a couple potatoes.
Oh, yeah. That's it. Not cooked, though, right?
No, that's your job.
Just raw.
I'll bring those things over. I might scrub them down for you. But
put them in a sack and carry them over.
Yeah, you can take care of that.
So it's your first Thanksgiving with the baby boy?
Yeah.
You guys going to the parents' house?
Multiple family Thanksgiving, which we've done for years. We'll see how it goes.
See how long the little guy holds out for?
Yeah, it's not tough. Listen, I'm not the first one who has to travel with a baby, but it obviously changes things. We still have dogs at home too that need to be attended to. So, Thanksgiving's a little more hectic than I'd like, but we'll see how it goes in coming years.
Before that, the California wildfires. Devastating.
Really? I had no idea. I heard it this morning on the news. The largest wildfires in California history. I didn't know that. I did not know that. 76 lives lost, up to 100 still missing, so that death toll is nearly certain to rise. Tragic. I mean, was there warnings? I mean, I'm not I can't armchair quarterback it, but was there notice like, hey, the wildfire's headed this way, you need to get out and evacuate, or was it just not that bad?
The thing with wildfires is it changes so quickly, because all it takes is for the wind to change direction.
Sure.
And if it's dry, it's going to burn super fast, and so you can't blame someone if they get caught up in it. Like, it's nature, man. Those things are devastating. Before that, first on my list, Floyd Mayweather once again.
I'm done. If it's not going to be a boxing match with a boxer, he's going to do it.
So do we know, have they announced what it will be yet?
It's supposed to be a sparring session or a 3-round exhibition, no kicks allowed. So
Now,
he's boxing a kickboxer.
But in kickboxing, can you elbow?
I don't know. I don't know the rules. And I don't care enough. I really thought he would firmly back out of this once
Is
he
anyone going to
realized.
buy it?
They haven't even announced if it's going to be pay-per-view, what it's going to be. It might just be a private thing that this company or whoever is paying him so many millions he couldn't say no to it. I'm just not interested. If he wants to box, but stop telling me you're retired and then come back and fight McGregor and then tell me you're retired, you came out for the payday, and now you're boxing a kickboxer. Nobody cares.
Yeah, let's see. TMZ had a quote from Mayweather. Rules, it's going to be a little boxing exhibition, no kicking. I'm moving around with the guy for 9 minutes. And of course, it's going to be the highest paid exhibition ever.
There's no question.
Huh. That sounds terrible. It's going to be like in Rocky whatever when it was supposed to just be an exhibition.
Yeah, Tommy the Machine Gun.
Yeah.
Wasn't that? Are you talking 5 where he wasn't cleared to fight Steve?
Yeah.
Or are you talking Rocky Balboa where he came back for...
No. Rocky Balboa, I don't consider those as part of the Rocky series.
Excuse you?
Yeah.
Rocky
I still
Balboa.
like them. I still like them.
You don't consider 6 a part of the series, but you consider 5 a part of the series, where technically he wasn't even cleared to fight because of brain damage.
Yeah. It's weird, though.
I'm the other way around. I go 4 to 6.
The newer ones I don't consider as part of the original series. By the way, Thanksgiving Day, I believe, Creed 2 comes out.
We're going, right? We're in on this?
Probably not on Thanksgiving,
No.
but maybe Friday.
Let's do that. Let's plan Friday or the weekend if you're free, or if we can find some time. I need to get away and see Creed 2. It looks so
help me
good.
God. If there is a scene with quads racing through Philadelphia, I'm getting up and leaving. I'm out. 100%.
You're not going to tolerate the respect to Philadelphia tradition that we just don't understand?
No, but the only reason I'll stick around is so I can take some notes. So if we need to further plan in detail our Rocky training session, that can happen.
Oh boy, that fell by the wayside quick. Are we drinking eggs out of a cup at 4 in the morning?
You're still in for that, right?
Yeah, sure.
And then running
as far as I can until I throw up those eggs.
You're going to make it to the corner.
Yeah, I'm
going to make it to the corner.
I'll get to the mailbox. There's going to be a nicely placed regurgitation of egg.
Oh, God. That just sounds absolutely terrible.
Yes, it does.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, hit me.
Jamal I apologize. Khashoggi.
Oh. So it seems really awful.
Yes.
Everything about that story.
Yep. CIA determining, reportedly, that the Crown Prince did, in fact, order the murder.
Now, I saw a mutual friend of ours had posted something on Facebook. Actually, we'll
come
get
back.
Circle
back. Okay. WWE Survivor Series,
oh,
Steve.
Man.
That's tonight. One of the big 4 pay-per-views.
Mick Foley in there.
Obviously, part of everything.
Yeah. Tommy Gunn.
Wait, the guy from Rocky 5 we just talked about?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. Of course, Triple H making his big comeback to the ring.
Yeah, after
Owen
he
Hart.
tore his pectoral muscle 2 weeks
Hart.
ago. Oh, going that path, huh? Wrong time, wrong place.
Yeah, I bet a bunch of money on this one.
Smart man. Smart man. John Hinckley.
I know that there was something relevant, but I don't know what.
All right, we'll come back to it. Amanda Knox. Foxy Knoxy.
That was she was the girl who
she was
killed
student abroad in Italy. And her roommate ended up dead. She was initially found guilty, was overturned, and so she booked it home. And
is she guilty again?
No, nothing of that degree. But she's apparently a bit weirder than anticipated.
Well, that whole thing was that
whole story was
odd.
Weird. Did you ever watch a documentary on Netflix called
I didn't.
Knox? Worth your time. It's worth your time. It's a pretty good documentary. And lastly, Steve, you mentioned it. Big news this week. Black Friday. Black Friday deals. You scoping out? You waiting Cyber Monday?
I'll do Cyber Monday.
No deals you're scoping out,
Not
though?
a chance I am ever going out again on Black Friday.
The thrill of the hunt, though, Steve.
No, there was no thrill.
1 year ago,
thrill.
I got there before you, waited in line, got a ticket, got one of those TVs we both wanted.
You were in line in...
Oh, yeah.
No.
I timed it better,
I remember
Steve. You're misremembering things.
I seriously need to remember exactly how that went.
Oh, you want to? Okay, you showed up before me.
I got there like a half hour before you.
You sent me threatening text messages while in line,
basically saying,
"Sucker out of TVs,
yeah,
I get one, you don't."
Yeah, I sent you a ton of taunting text messages saying, "Ha ha, you suck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this." Now, what I realized is after I got there, before I had gotten there, they had given out some passes.
Yep.
To
the big
insure you a TV.
Yeah.
And then there were some that were like, well, hey, it's first come, first serve, so if you got there, cool. Well, I made it all the way to the back of the store, walked in, didn't have my ticket in hand.
Because there was some controversy around that last ticket. The woman behind you received one, bypassing you under shady circumstances.
Yeah. Luckily, I've forgotten a lot of the details, so I can't get as mad about it as I was nearly 1 year ago.
I just reminded you of that, of someone behind you got that television.
You know something? I'm going to go upstairs after we're done after recording this podcast, and I'm going to sit down on my far superior television than the one that you got, the one that I did not have to pay 1 red cent for, and I am just going to...
Well, if you think about it, you paid quite a bit more red cents for, but neither here nor there, Steve.
Well, no, again, that money was spent already.
Neither here nor there. As the story goes, I came back a couple hours later.
Oh man, I forgot about that. I forgot that it wasn't even.
Oh no, I went home.
Yeah, you went home.
Katie and I
went, and then I went back too before you did, and they still said, nope, all out.
I thought you went back after I did. Either way, I ended up with the last television on that sale in the store. Because I do remember
getting a text from you, and it was a picture of like you driving and holding it out in selfie mode, and you see this massive TV in your back seat. And I thought, that's weird. I didn't get one.
Black Friday deals. I'll be out there scoping stuff around again. Amanda Knox was on the viral video on the internet this week. Now, again, we talked about her student abroad in Italy, and it became this weird sensation because she's an attractive female who years ago she was having sex, Steve, and then her roommate died or was murdered.
Yeah,
she was the one who was you killed her because you were jealous. So yeah, the tale of her years ago was murder suspect, convicted, overturned, moved back. They tried to convict her again, but obviously she wouldn't go back and be put in jail.
Yeah,
and then it was at last I had heard it was finally overturned to say that
easy.
She's not
like you
guilty.
Can just murder someone and leave the country and then
right.
All right, try to get me. Like,
well, this week apparently she's hyper nerd. Her boyfriend proposed to her by staging this super weird fake meteor alien invasion and getting her to run outside with him after he claims a meteor hit or went by. Very nerdy. The video is on her Instagram and on the internet. Yeah, so I don't know if anybody anticipated that. It wasn't very good.
Yeah, well, more power to
different strokes, I guess.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. I won't say I won't judge because I will always secretly judge people, but hey, whatever. If you're into nerd stuff, go for it. That's how you get your rocks off.
I'm not going to hide it. Stupid. For that, John Hinckley.
John Hinckley, the man who attempted to assassinate Ronald Reagan.
Correct.
In what, 1980?
Yeah, 1981 probably. I want to say. And he paralyzed, I want to say it was the Secretary of Defense or Secretary of State with the gunshot.
Which is where it was Brady, right? Because that's where the Brady bill came from.
Yep. And did so. He was infatuated with Jodie Foster.
And he thought that by shooting Ronald Reagan, that would impress her and that they would live happily ever after.
So he was locked up for, I want to say it was 36 years, was released in 2016 under close watch. Now it sounds like he is going to be able to move out of his mother's home as long as he stays within 75 miles of her. Loosening restrictions. His lawyer has now come out and said in his next hearing in June he is going to ask for unconditional release. Where do you stand on that?
Boy. I mean, you'd like to think that in 36 years or 37 years, whatever it's been, that the guy has realized, like, it probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. Maybe I'll just keep my head down, get a part-time job.
Right.
Like, watch some Netflix every now and then and live out my days as a, functioning member of society.
Yeah.
How old is he now? It's probably in his 60s.
He's got to be in his 60s. Yeah, he's 65, I think.
Okay.
They said he's a regular at the record store and at the guitar store or something like that, and seems to be, acts normal there, but he still has restrictions. He can't be within a certain distance of sitting or former presidents or members of Congress.
What about Jodie Foster?
It's got to be, right?
It has
to be some type of right.
I
don't know.
I don't feel good about that.
It's weird to me, right? Like he tried to murder a sitting president and obviously has an... I don't know. I understand rehabilitation and stuff, but he's released.
Yeah.
He's not in maximum security prison anymore. He's just living with his mother, and I think he has a monitor on that he essentially they can find where he is.
Yeah. So that means that if he gets this unconditional thing, he won't have a monitor anymore?
I would guess not. He would have, I'm guessing, mandated visits with either a therapist or a psychiatrist, whatever. But yeah, who knows? In June of next year, there's a good chance a man who tried to murder a president could be just do whatever he wants, essentially.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Kind of odd, right?
I don't think that should be allowed.
I don't either. I'd agree with you.
Yeah. Because,
but that's what they say though. You go to prison to be rehabilitated and get a second chance. So here we are. I don't know how Brady's family feels about it. That's who I would be. That's who I would
probably run that by them.
The man who was paralyzed.
See what they think.
Yeah, right. Before that, WWE Survivor Series, Steve, tonight. Sunday night, one of the big four pay-per-views. Now, that's WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam, Steve.
Yeah, of course.
Who do you got tonight in the big match?
I already told you. Mick Foley.
You got Mick.
The Rock, of course. I mean, you can't have a match. Can't have a Survivor Series without The Rock.
Sure.
Winning that.
You've got Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar.
He was back from waiting to be reinstated. Nobody knows what's going on with him, if he's going to the UFC or not.
Boy, am I tired of hearing about him.
Yes, me too. As a wrestling fan, me as well. He's wrestling Daniel Bryan
in a fight. Brock Lesnar and Floyd Mayweather.
Boxing rules? Anything other than boxing rules, I'm taking Lesnar just because he's 140 pounds heavier.
Yeah. He wouldn't win Mayweather would kill him.
In a boxing match?
Right?
Absolutely, yeah. Lesnar.
How tall is Mayweather's really short,
He is.
Right? And Lesnar's tall.
Tallish, yeah. Lesnar would obviously outsize him in every aspect in a boxing ring. But Lesnar's jaw is not fantastic. Okay. He's had issues with that in UFC.
Has he gotten knocked out before?
Yes. In the UFC, he's had some issues with that.
Because Mayweather's not a hard puncher.
No, he has knockout powers for guys his size.
What is he, like a featherweight or a...
Yeah, well, he's a lightweight. He fights up to 150-some pounds, so he'd be giving up more than 100 pounds. But boxers are more trained to take a punch to the chin than a lot of MMA guys are, too, right? And...
Because Lesnar hits hard as hell.
Lesnar's going to hit hard as hell, but if you're just hitting Floyd's elbows and gloves, he's not going to care.
Yeah, because McGregor also supposedly hit really hard.
And you saw McGregor get gassed. UFC and I would
imagine
different.
that I'd imagine that McGregor is a little better conditioned.
Probably than Lesnar. I mean, size-wise, it's hard to be in, marathon essentially shape as a guy 270 pounds, full of muscle, compared to McGregor, who's less muscle-bound than a Lesnar. But, the big match tonight, Brock Lesnar, Steve, versus Daniel Bryan, the man who just came back from
my buddy
severe head injuries. They're going to have the largest...
My friend interviewed him. We talked one-on-one. He complimented my beard. Yeah. I made no attempt to talk about how you are a big fan of him. Yeah. I simply acted as though I was the superior fan. Had a great time. We high-fived, got his number. Talk all the time.
You guys text. Nice.
All the time.
That's awful nice of you.
All the time. I've been to all the big events. Survivor,
Series?
Escape.
Wait, we're escaping this now?
Yeah. Of course, the other one. The one in...
The big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bigger one.
Yeah, WrestleFest.
The smallest guy, though, Steve. Daniel Bryan, you've seen him.
Oh, he's smaller than me.
He's wrestling Brock Lesnar. Now, I get it. It's totally.
insane.
I understand it. It's fake. It's wrestling. The
Well,
fact
I mean,
is, Brock.
look, it's scripted.
Sure.
You know, there are many things that wrestlers do that are still 100%. Like, everything
sure.
they're doing in the ring is still physical. You know, you can't fake falling off a 20-foot ladder or jumping off
Right.
of the top of a cage and going through a table.
Tonight, he wrestles a 260-pound Brock Lesnar who's known for one move, and that's a suplex, where you land on your head. Less than a year after Daniel Bryan's coming back from claiming his brain's not damaged from dozens of concussions. Seems odd. Let's all hope for his safety.
Yeah, that's
Your friend.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that my friend made that decision. You know, about a month ago, he reached out to me.
Lastly,
He's like,
Jamal Khashoggi,
Steve,
the
what do you
Washington Post contributor.
My friend,
United States
what do they
permanent
call him, like
resident, not a citizen. That's
Billy
important
Goat.
to.
Is that what they call him?
He does kind of look like a Billy Goat. Is that a name? That makes sense.
Is that something that I've always just assumed about him, that he had a nickname, the Billy Goat? I always thought that was like part of his character. Like, and now
He's definitely not going up
coming
there
to
like
the
ramming
ring.
a turnbuckle like
coming
a
to the
Billy Goat.
ring, like eating a can. The Billy Goat, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, there's
Nothing.
there's Daniel Bryan's 7 curious facts about WWE's goat face, whatever the heck that is.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, boy, bummer for him.
Yeah.
and his face.
Yeah.
Before that, Jamal Khashoggi, the journalist from the Washington, contributor to the Washington Post, permanent resident of the United States, who was murdered at the Saudi consulate in Turkey weeks ago. Reportedly, the CIA and U.S. intelligence has determined that was ordered by the Crown Prince, which would be very, very bad news on a political and public relations level. MBS, I think, is what he's nicknamed as. And now the question is, how does the U.S. respond?
Now, I saw a mutual friend of ours had posted that apparently video of that was released, but it was later determined to be...
Stills from the video were claimed to be released, but it's not. It is those were stills from a film that were not doctored, but some different stuff was put on the screen to make it look like it was. So those were fake. I wouldn't be surprised if that does get released. That seems like for my money, one of the biggest upsets of the last 10 to 15 years in terms of footage like that is the fact that the Steve Irwin footage never leaked.
Yeah, that is surprising. Because apparently the cameraman or whoever it was that was on the boat with him says, oh yeah, it definitely, I remember reading an interview with him and he said, yeah, there was footage of it.
Yeah.
But whether he just didn't release it or whether he destroyed it, I don't know. You think we'd ever see that? You think it's out there somewhere?
The Steve Irwin?
Yeah.
Supposedly destroyed. I don't think we ever see it at this point, and it's been so long. Like, who's out there trying to dig up the Steve Irwin? Oh, did I just step on that?
No, I think it snuck through. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Is there a clamoring even among the weird sadists this long after
Probably not.
I mean, listen, if it ever were to be leaked, there'd be, oh man, you got to see this, whatever, because people are weird like that. That doesn't interest me. Even stills from this thing don't interest me. I understand what happened. I've read the reports of what happened. Who needs to see the actual remnants of that to understand what happened?
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. I won't say nobody wants to see it because, like you said, plenty do. There are plenty out there that would.
Now the question is if the CIA does in fact report back to the top levels of our government that he was killed and the hit was ordered by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, what happens?
Boy, that becomes kind of weird, right?
I shuddered a bit to think about, because at that point there's no way to navigate the line between holding your interest, which I understand the financial interest the United States has in maintaining a relationship with Saudi Arabia. billions of dollars in whatever is traded and bought and sold. I understand that. There's no way to toe the line between that and morality.
Yeah.
You can't toe the line, Steve. You have to stay on one side or the other. And if you say, sorry, they buy too much from us, you're a garbage person.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side, say, well, it's billions of dollars. So where does it fall when this comes along? Man, this is a landmine. This is a minefield for Trump right now.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of simmered. It hasn't been top of the mind in a few weeks, and now the CIA report has come out that they're claiming that, yeah, they did it, they ordered it. Well, this morning or last night, Trump has claimed, well, they never told me that.
Maybe true. I don't know, man.
They haven't reported back to me anything, and we'll see type of thing. So
yeah,
it's a foregone conclusion for 98% of America. Yeah, it's pretty clear. The top levels of Saudi Arabian government ordered this.
Yeah.
But what is a CIA report on his desk? Is that going to change things?
No,
it won't.
It's no, definitely not.
It won't.
It's
At that point, there's no chance.
Yeah,
that's it. Ah, dang it.
That was it, right?
Yeah, we've done it again though. Hang on one second. This happens too often though, and I try to avoid doing that where we end a show like that.
Oh, of course. Okay.
So you know what? Here we go.
You got your daily funnies.
Would you like to be the sun in my life? Aw, sure. Good, then stay 92.96 million miles away from me.
I love ending on a good joke.
That's straight from the Laugh Factory.
Oh, wait, it's got to be like LAFF.
No. This is the one with Tim Allen, Whitney Cummings, Chris D'Elia, whatever.
Oh yeah,
Dave
I love
Chappelle
him
and Kevin Nealon.
Yeah, of course. Hey, if you want to get in on the Steve and Kyle podcast, hold on, I got to make sure I got this right. The Steve and Kyle podcast non-denominational winter solstice gift exchange.
There it is.
On Twitter at Steve and Kyle, Facebook.com/Steve and Kyle. DM us. Give us your full name, your mailing address, and by December 1st, we're going to pair you up with somebody else who's also interested. You then send them a $10 to $20 gift. Somebody else will send you a $10 to $20 gift. Everybody will be happy. Now, we're not just doing direct. We're not like if Bob and Sue both sign up, we're not giving Sue to Bob and Bob to Sue.
No,
right?
it's going to be totally different. Okay. So who you are giving a gift to will not be getting a gift from that person.
Okay. So yeah, again, Facebook.com/Steve and Kyle. On Twitter at Steve and Kyle, DM us, and we will set you up with somebody in the next week and a half or so. You can also download, subscribe, and review the show on iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, SteveandKyle.com, SteveandKyle.com/merch. If you want to send that special person on your list this year some of the most garbage merchandise you have ever seen in your life. T-shirts, mini skirts, computer laptop covers, anything you want.
Leggings,
yeah. The first person, we haven't seen anyone send us a picture of the leggings.
I know, I need to see that. My face on one leg, Steve's on another.
So SteveandKyle.com/merch. Other than that, I think that's pretty much all we got for you this week. You got anything else?
No, busy week.
All right. Man. Talk to you next week.